All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep moving right along. Boy, I can tell it's sparring a lot of conversation this morning. Up next, we have Ming. He is the founder and CEO of Himin Solar Company, the largest solar thermal product manufacturing company in China. He is a global leader in solar thermal energy. He played a central role in the passing of China's Renewable Energy Act of 2005. With our keynote address, Solar Valley, Solar Everything, here is Ming.
Hello, everybody. This hello is from world #1 solar crazy guy. This hello is also from I have a lovely girl in some of my shirt as a symbol of solar cooker girls, the girls and the boys of this and next generations. So as a kind of businessman, as well as a kind of representative of the children of the future, I often blamed my potential customers for not using solar or renewable energy. Talking about the election of US president, we can suppose that if Hillary Clinton suggests that largely increase the taxation of oil resources and other emission, maybe she will lose 10 or 20 or even 30% of the vote. Do you think so? So that gives us very deep thinking of that. China is often blamed for high consumption of coal and high emission. But you know, China has a very big, strong government and local government, central government. So we have solved a lot of problems like water pollution. 20 years ago, the water situation of rivers and lakes in the major cities is really, really bad, just as bad as in Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, and other developing countries. But China solved this problem largely. And now the smog, the air emission program, I strongly believe within 10 years, we will solve this problem. But you know, nowadays we have, last winter, we have very serious, almost 20 days, smog days in the early winter time. What's the cause of this? Some of them from industry, from automobile, and 1/3 from the improvement of countryside central heating, family central heating, from the coal burning. So now we are facing the challenge of building zero energy and low cost buildings for farmers. Now our governor in Shandong province initiate something like a big campaign to build or renovating millions of the farmers' houses for zero energy or zero emission farmer buildings in these 5 years, in next 5 years. You know, this is China. But how about America? I remember in the year 2000, I took participate in Washington, D.C. High-rank summit between two governments, renewable energy summit, where I gave a keynote speech about sustainable development of China renewable energy and the solar industry. At that time, my company produced 1 million square meters of solar, thermal, solar hot water. And we made, since that time, in 10 years, from the founding of my company to 2005, in 10 years, we initiate the Chinese solar thermal industry from 0 to 76% share of the world share in solar hot water. We made half of the population, 0.7 billion people. In half of them are countryside, use solar hot water system on their roof. That's, yeah. Thank you. But that big contribution only replace 0.5% of the whole consumption of energy. Only 0.5%, nothing at all. So our slogan at my first transferring from oil industry into solar is for the blue sky and the white cloud of our children, please use solar. And the purpose, the mission is to global substitution from conventional energy into renewable energy. But nowadays, we cannot protect our own blue sky. So that's the big problem. At the same time, China also installed the biggest market of PV production and also installation and windmill. But this emission problem haven't solved. What's wrong with that? So you see, our mankind have been through first industrial revolution, second, third, from USA take the leadership of electric industrial revolution, electronic revolution. But how about fourth industrial revolution, renewable energy revolution? You are the leadership? You are in the leadership? I don't believe. So the China Solar Museum, located in Solar Valley, had some kind of the most precious item in the world for the memory of solar thermal technology and the solar thermal industry. One is the item presented by Jimmy Carter to me in Shanghai. 40 years ago, the solar panel on solar thermal panel, not solar PV panel, solar thermal panel on the White House 40 years ago. And I collected another precious item even earlier in 1941, 70 years ago, solar thermal, also innovated, created in USA. Now I'm seeking hardly for another one, 105 years old, the first in the world solar thermal panel in USA. Now I'm working hard on that. So that's 100 years anniversary of solar technology and the solar industry. You know, the same age industries like automobile industry, airplane industry, you know, half century electronic industry. You are the leader. But can you say you are the leader of renewable energy right now? Just like Silicon Valley. You lost the position. You lost leadership. Once I told column writer, Mr. Smalls, he asked me, why China? Why not America? I said, that's culture, that's habit, that's lifestyle. Your tradition in these 100 years, it's easier, too easier for you to get resources like coal, like petroleum, gas, and so on. But China is so poor in these resources. So we have, in the open door policy age, we had the choice, solar, electricity, and also coal and gas. So third of them chose solar. Nowadays, we face the big challenge to lose the position in solar because we have high-rank buildings and a lot of developers learn from USA and also they copy your lifestyle. Big cars, big room, without, don't care about the energy and the emission. So that's the biggest barrier. So 30 years and 40 years ago, I'm the fan of USA, American culture and technology. Now I'm not. I have learned a lot from you. Jimmy Carter is called by me the god of my industry. I admire him very much. First book I read, so-called Dr. Bakerman's solar thermal process. I studied that, I copied that, I made my first solar collector, solar system according to this book. I had a lot of friends here. I have a lot of math teachers here. But this technology, this culture, this innovation goes secretly from USA to China. I don't like this situation because I don't think these two great nations are not competitors in this area, as some politicians always think. So I'd like said we should unite together to initiate fourth or fifth industrial revolution. We need cooperation. Thank you. You see, I earned a lot of money, more than billions of RMB, maybe $1 billion US in these 20 years. But I spent most of them, and I earn a lot of, take a lot of bank loan even to build, to design, plan, and build Solar Valley. In these 10 years, we built 10 major solar buildings, solar city buildings. And in these 3 years, I spent a lot of my energy and the last coin of my money into another 10 zero-energy countryside buildings, refugee buildings, buildings for poor people. So I want to show these buildings for you to see the future. You see, I often blamed my potential customers not to use solar, not to use renewable energy. That's not your fault. So people will say that you don't give the same quality, same attractive products like a mobile phone, like iPhone, like Ford, like the big automobiles and beautiful buildings all over American land. But I think we have doing a lot. You see so many new buildings. So in these 20 years, by and by, our company I transferred my company from single solar products, solar hot water systems, solar thermal, solar drying, solar cooling, solar heating, solar toys, solar bags, solar charger, solar cooker, solar clothing, solar everything. But it's not enough. It's not enough. Why? Because we need to fundamentally change our lifestyle, not only from single products, but from culture, from the big items like buildings, like cars, like a train, like airplane. First, we should start from buildings. So now we change our Solar Valley. Why I call that Solar Valley? My 200 hectares of my base, my headquarters, because I want to compare Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley initiated the whole industry, the whole era of internet. Myself want to initiate the whole age or era of renewable energy, like AREDAY, not AREDAY, just R days, R years, RE, whole generations, whole earth. So I exhaust all of my money, but not my energy. In this 30 years struggle, I never care about money. I never lack of money. When the course needed, some people comes. Some of you will join us. I think that's not my cause. That's not your cause. The cause of the whole mankind, the whole natural beings. So I think I call for your attraction, your attention to pay a visit to this Utopia Park. We changed Solar Valley from a city example to the countryside example. So we have a lot of low cost. For the city buildings, zero energy or solar buildings, the cost used to be 30 to 40% higher than normal. But nowadays, we decrease that into 5%, maximum 10%. 1 year or 2 year energy saving will cover the cost. So that's quite close to the present. So I have learned a lot from not only your technology, not your scientists, but from your philosophers, just like programmatism. Yeah, I think idealist must be combined with realistic. My hobby is to make dreams come true. So I think nothing is impossible, but my slogan is impossible is nothing. So now I'm start initiating so-called world international micro emission university. The mission, the vision of this university is to be the most contributed university to the Earth's ecology. And I want to attract more and more people, especially US scientists and businessmen, to be professor, to be sponsor of this global university. We want innovation, not only for technology, but also for the training and education. So nowadays, we have some provincial project and also county project for example, in Gansu province and Qinghai province, which is very poor, and one county, they want 100,000 families, remote poor families, to have solar heating and zero energy, zero emission buildings. Yeah, thank you. Which is really good quality, good life quality, and good looking buildings, and with very smart business model. So some of investors and bankers are very interested in that. So we cooperate each other to start 1 million country house renovation project. And I ask my students that, as a professor, micro-emission professor, I ask them to take a master's degree and doctoral degree all together by doing this kind of project. Not only studying theory, basic course, but also designing, planning, manufacturing and installation, and also management. Zero energy is not only technology, but also the result of management. So the first stage of this 1 million project finished. they will get master's degree. The final stage of this kind of project, they will get doctor degree. So this kind of the programmatic method or renovation or revolution of education. So personally, I ask you to do me a favor to recommend some professor, some universities, some kind of NGO to participate in such kind of high-ranked education program. 30 years ago, I started a campaign for 500 million people involved, so-called solar penetration, solar education program, which proved success, a big success, but you know, it's a low-level education. I need high-ranked, high-level education training program. So this also is a business. So the social welfare combined with business will be the only way out of our so-called global warming, climate change, energy crisis, and also pollution and the challenge. So finally, I introduce DC Cordova as my business partner in USA. Yeah. And she worked very hard to work a kind of website, English website, especially for USA. And I strongly recommend you to see a lot of, to get a lot of information and the future program. So welcome to Future Building Park, World Future Building Park, World Future Villages, and to see the future not only in China, but also in the world. Thank you a lot. Thank you.
And I think this is awesome that you have President Carter, former President Jimmy Carter's solar panels from the White House in your office. I have to ask you. Museum, in your museum.
China Solar Museum.
Oh.
We're the first one.
That's fantastic. Now, I have to ask you, with a country like China, and with everything that you're doing with the micro emissions, you're doing this for thousands and millions of people. Is the Chinese government embracing it, or are they being a challenge for you?
Thank you. I oppose the government subsidies and intensive. I welcome the government support, politically, public, and a kind of psychological support or kind of municipal legislation level. So as 10 years national congressman, I'm successfully initiate China renewable energy law, but I failed in promoting China energy saving building law. So that's, you know, energy saving comes first in a clean world. So maybe take 80% share of the contribution of that goal. So energy saving building is very important. So now my company tends to solar or renewable energy or even micro emission, zero emission building company, design, plan, and manufacturing, installation, management. So I take a lot of burden on me. Yeah, so government, I think, should take some kind of standard certification and some subsidized intensive for pilot project. So that's in 2006, I gave a presentation, keynote speak in UN headquarters, gave a triple recycling model for not only developing countries, but for developed countries. I predict the disaster for PV in USA and PV industry in USA and European countries 8 years ago. Even I talked to the Chancellor Merkel that will be dangerous. So for anti-dumping at early age for the renewable industry is really, really ridiculous, foolish decision. So we should cooperate, unite, not fighting, argue. Thank you.
I'm sure we have some questions, so raise your hand. There's a microphone floating around if you've got any questions.
Okay, well, so hold on, Richard. Huang Ming, the bridge to China. First of all, thank you so much for coming all the way from China, number one.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
To talk to us. And I think that my takeaway from this, your lecture is that the most important thing is to bring down the barriers of trade.
Yeah.
To make solar affordable for Americans.
The trade, but the cost.
Right, that's what I mean. I'm talking about these trade barriers, the anti-dumping laws, that we invented the solar, we exported it to China, you improved it, and now we're putting up the wall of implementation, and that has to change. So how can we create the green bridge between China and the United States, the two largest countries in money, economics, and in greenhouse gas
by
emissions?
pilot project and education program. Pilot project should come to end. One, to refugee, to the poor people, not only in America or in China, but also all over the world, because our NGO concerns all over the world. So for the poor people, first pilot project. Second is luxury project like Aspen, Snowmass, where I have noticed that here a lot of new development, new booming, but not energy saving. None of renewable energy heating and other things. So we need to two kind of project cooperate each other. So thank you. And also universities. Yeah.
What is the life expectancy of the electric panels and the thermal panels?
Yeah, good questions. I only know I can only promise my lifespan of PV panel, 30 to 35 years. And for solar thermal, 50 to 100 years for frame structure, main structure. For the collectors like vacuum tubes, 15 years to 20 years. But it's easy to change, to replace. So the main lifespan is 50 years.
Is money being put aside for replacements like we do in America when something becomes obsolete? There's a replacement
The
fund.
same thing must be the same rule, same regulation, same situation like normal house, like automobiles, but better than automobiles, but much better than iPhone, than mobile phones, of course. So we have a lot of misunderstanding and misleading in renewable energy. So this kind of RD, RMANs should much more. Yeah, this event must be okay.
So for those of you that were not here on Monday when I was really speaking about Wang Ming, and I had the opportunity to study with Buckminster Fuller, and he taught at our business school for 6 years. I know for a fact what Bucky wanted to see. And the first time that I went to the Solar Valley, I sat on this bench and looked at all of these different buildings. These are all real. Some of the renderings, we talk about the future, but I knew that Buckminster Fuller would want to sit there, that his spirit is living in the Solar Valley. The one thing that for those of you that may not have hope, actually Wang Ming was an oil top engineer for the government of China, and when his daughter was born, he was, she's now 30 years old, right? Your daughter is 30 years old.
30 years old.
30 years old. So with the first time that he held his baby, he had an epiphany and realized that there was no future for China and the world, that he really needed to go and explore and see, and got down to, he was very successful, got very well paid, got down to his last 2,000 RMBs, 2,000 US for us, and had an amazing experience of the universe literally supporting him, because a little miracle happened that somebody happened to see a little ad that he had. And he went on to get Goldman Sachs to almost 100 million US, which at the time was almost a billion yuan, where he built the Solar Valley. And from there, he went on into government for 10 years and passed the green law. And Wang Ming really started at a time when, believe me, the Chinese government was not into environmentalists. There were people that were, one of his mentors was in prison at the time. And so he has become, he's the Yoda, I call him the Yoda, of, because many, just about any solar cooker that you see, he is a consultant to just about all of the best solar entrepreneurs in China, and at one point he had 35% of the market. And he stepped back when he saw the cheapness and the way the low price products. So Himin is about high level, high priced, not high priced, high quality. And we have a whole element of humanitarian side, which I'm the one that's doing that globally, which is with the help of everyone here, including of course Sally and Chip. And for us to have, you saw the solar cookers that we want to provide for families that can feed people. So there is a whole humanitarian side, and you are in the presence of one of the most magnificent human beings, his humbleness, the ability that he has to enroll the hardest people, the Chinese government, to go green. And for that, I'd like to personally thank you. It's an honor to have you with us.
Yeah, finally, thank you. Finally, very good news from my central government and local provincial government. Within these 10 years, they decided to solve all of this coal burning problem, cut down 95% different coal burners, coal boilers, all of China, 10 years nationally. In my province and my cities, where we have 100 million people in my province, third largest economic body, they want to solve this problem 5 years. The governor promised to be commander-in-chief in that. And the very practical process is that if the mayor, one of the mayor, doesn't solve this problem within this abbrevious process, without abbrevious process, they will lose their position, even to a very, very low level, or lose the job. So that's, Chinese government is a really strong government. That's the advantage of that. So in this case, I welcome this strong government. Thank you.
Huang Ming, thank you very, very much.